Hi, everybody. It's Dan here. Tonight, I'd like to talk about why I think that fasting is a fad and it's overrated. Okay, let me begin by saying I don't think fasting is bad for you. It cannot hurt you. It's mimicking starvation in nature, in my opinion. So, fasting is not going to kill you. But what I am saying is that fasting, what it'll do is it'll force your body to go into a situation where it'll preserve energy so you can survive what it perceives to be a famine. And there's a use for that. Like I said in the last video I just made, that I made, fasting is a way to make you healthy when you go into a state of metabolic syndrome, which is caused by fructose consumption, to prepare for winter. And the reason why I say fasting is overrated is because I believe fasting is good for that, especially because of the natural processes of nature. But fasting is really a fad. It's something that people, I see them talking about and doing because everyone else is talking about it and doing it. And they listen to people like Dr. Fung and other doctors talk about how great it is, Goldhammer or whatever the guy's name is, about how great it is. And they just follow these guys and believe them because they're doctors and they're charismatic. And I'm just not convinced that fasting is all it's cracked up to be, because what is the evolutionary or instinctive role of fasting? Do people like to go hungry? No, I don't see where going hungry is beneficial. I mean, it's not, I mean, or it's something that people want to do. I mean, I don't want to go hungry. I don't see the point in going hungry. And to me, if you're healthy, I don't see the point in fasting. I mean, people are talking about autophagy, like, well, your body goes into a autophagy. Of course it goes into a autophagy. Autophagy is a normal process that is constantly going on in every body, every animal. And you don't really have to go into autophagy to heal. Healing is normal. If you eat a good diet, you're going to be healthy. That's all there is to it. And I don't see the point in going hungry. I don't. And intermittent fasting, I guess, which means not eating a certain amount of hours each day, they make a big deal out of that too. And I do it, but I don't think about it as intermittent fasting. I just think about it as eating when I'm hungry. And the only way to do that is on keto or carnivore diet for the most part. If you're trying to eat a regular standard American diet and you're doing intermittent fasting, you're going to be hungry and you're going to be going hungry. But if you're eating carnivore like I am, you're not hungry for 16 to 18 hours a day. So you're not really fasting. You're just not eating because you're not hungry. And I just see fasting as something that should be natural. If it causes you unpleasantness by being hungry and you're not sick, you don't have metabolic syndrome, there's no point to it. And like I said, there's several doctors that have pointed out the fallacy of fasting. They're saying that even though fasting is not going to hurt you, it's not dangerous, it's uncomfortable. But Dr. Finney, he says that if you fast over 2 days, then you get to the point where you start burning protein out of your body, and that stands to reason. I mean, I saw a guy on YouTube make a video talking about how the body goes into all these protective things that save protein and keep you from burning your muscle up, but or your lean body mass. But I don't see how that's possible, because protein is something you have to consume because your body is always using it every day. Your body uses a certain amount of protein, and if you don't refill that, even though the loss may be slow, at some point you're going to accelerate your loss of lean tissue. It has to be that way. There's no other possibility. And my wife's doctor, Dr. Adam Nally, who I consider to be the best keto doctor in the world, who's trained by Westman, he says that he does not recommend that his patients go to fasting for very often. He said every couple months, maybe over a couple days, but he said keep it short, because he noticed in his clinical practice that people that do long-term fasting, their testosterone goes down, their thyroid function goes down. And like I said, Dr. Finney made a video about it, and I agree with him. He's a real researcher that's not biased. And also, I saw Rob Wolf talk about how he noticed that people that fast a lot, they look like vegans sometimes. They just look skinny fat. They don't look healthy. And it just doesn't make sense for me to not eat if you're hungry, unless you're, like I said, if you got metabolic syndrome, we know that fasting will help that because Fung's proven it. I like Fung. He's one of us. He's a low carber, but personality, don't listen to people because of their personality or because your friends talk about it. Look at the common sense aspect. That'll tell you the truth. Like I said, fasting is just not something that I'm convinced is something that's going to really improve your health all that much. It's going to cost you muscle if you do it too often. Once in a while is okay. That's normal because, like I said, going hungry is part of animals surviving for millions of billions of years. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's not going to kill you. But I'm convinced that it's a fad. And just because everyone else does it doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. So to me, fasting is something you should only do if you're sick, have metabolic syndrome. All right, hope you like this video, guys. Thanks for watching and have yourself a good night.